Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, you know, our friend Jimmy in Boston is going to be just tickled to death because today we have on his idol, his crush, Marie Wilson, in an episode of My Friend Irma. This episode goes back to April 2nd, 1951, as Irma insists Al go to a shrink.
And now Pepsodent, film-removing Pepsodent, presents My Friend Irma, created by Cy Howard and starring Marie Wilson as Irma and Kathy Lewis as Jane.
You know, a wise man once said, you cannot tell wherein lays the pearl by the looks of the oyster. If you study my roommate, Irma Peterson, you'll know it's true. Because you can look at that pretty head of hers all day long, but there's no way to prove there's a brain inside of it. Now, don't get me wrong, because I love Irma. But there are times when... Well, take the other day. I was reading the paper, and I said to Irma, listen to this, honey, listen. Radio-guided shells are being used in war. And Irma said...
That's ridiculous. What good is a radio in a shell? Once it lands, the program's over.
Well, I don't know about guided missiles, but if you want to know something that's good on the bristles of your toothbrush, why don't you try Pepsodent?
Now you're talking, Jane.
Well, Al's back with Irma again, and the kid is walking on air. I've never seen her so happy. That's why I'm watching her like a hawk. When she gets giddy, anything can happen. Uh-oh, she's turned the shower on. I better check. Irma, you've done it again.
Done what?
Taking a shower with your clothes on.
Oh, gosh. Help me, Jane.
Okay, turn around. Irma, what's the matter with you?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I'm just excited about having Al back. So wonderful to be in love. I can hear my heart beating in my head.
Well, get it back down where it belongs. It's making you punchy.
Huh?
Never mind. Here's your robe, honey.
Oh, thanks, Jane. Will you help me pick out a dress for tonight?
Sure, sweetie. Well, where's the big sport taking you tonight?
Oh, dinner and dancing.
Dinner and dancing. You kidding? What's he going to do, split a hot dog with you in front of a jukebox?
Of course not. This is the real thing. He got a job today.
Yes, I know, and I have just been made head elephant girl for the King of Siam.
Oh, I'll get it. Hello? Oh, hello, Al, honey. What a coincidence. You know, I was just telling Jane about your new job. How is it? You quit? Oh, why, Al? It's not steady. What do you mean it's not steady? Oh, they have the right to lay you off when you're 65. No, don't you come over tonight.
There go the cheers again. You know, I'm going to get you a pilot's license and rent you out as an artificial rainmaker.
But, Jane, I can't help it. I love him.
Oh, Cookie, he's nothing but a lazy bum.
I know, but he's so sweet. Besides, he has other qualities.
Sure, so does a flat tire. It gives a patch something to do. Sweetie, I don't want to start a lecture, but do you think it's right for a full-grown, perfectly healthy man to make loafing a lifetime career?
No, I guess not. You know what, Jane? Something just occurred to me. I don't think Al is normal.
All right. Now that the two of you have discovered the secret of your compatibility, what are you going to do about it?
Well, I don't know, Jane, but I got to do something because I love him.
Irma, if you feel that strongly about him, maybe you ought to get him to a psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe when Al was a baby, he was frightened by a time clock.
Well, what does a psychiatrists do?
Well, honey, they're doctors. They heal sick minds. Maybe Al has some kind of psychosis or neurosis. He might be a paranoiac or even a schizophrenic.
No, Jane, if I'm not mistaken, his whole family are Republicans.
No, honey, I don't think that's the blame. It's quite possible that somewhere in Al's head there's a mental block that makes him hate work. Where did I put that address of Dr. Melvin? He's a reputable psychiatrist. Here it is. Here.
All right, Jane, but how am I going to tell Al he's a blockhead without hurting his feelings?
Irma, when you get him to the doctor, ask him if he's got a special rate for two and give yourself a treat. Come in.
It's only me, Professor Kilpatrick. Hello, Jane and Irma, my two little gamblers. One flipping a coin to heads, the other with a head that's flipped.
Professor.
No, excuse me, Jane, a little joke to celebrate April Fool's Day.
Yesterday was April Fool's Day.
Oh, no, it must be today, because when I turned my faucet on, water came out.
Now, the same thing happened to Irma a few minutes ago, only she had her clothes on.
What?
Professor, do you ever go to a psychiatrist?
Me? Never. In this I don't believe. They make you lay back and close your eyes and tell the man your life story. And for this, they charge you good money, yeah. You know, for $1, I can do the same thing in the barber shop and get a shave in the bargain.
Please, Professor, don't discourage her. She wants Al to see a psychiatrist, and I'm all for it.
Well, now, maybe a psychiatrist might do him some good. You've tried everything else. Like the time you got him into a game of blind man's bluff and walked him over to the employment office.
I was in with me little darling.
My goodness, Irma, if you're going to a psychiatrist, take me. I need treatment, too.
What?
Yes, I could swear I just heard the mating call of an elephant.
Come in.
Oh, hello, girls.
Hello, Mrs. O'Reilly. My, you're in fine voice today.
Thank you. I just love to sing the Tennessee Waltz.
No, please, Mrs. O'Reilly, if you sing that Tennessee Waltz once more, Tennessee will waltz right out of the Union.
Oh, don't be such an old sourpuss. It wouldn't hurt you to sing once in a while instead of playing those practical jokes on me all the time.
Practical jokes? What did he do now?
Well, I had a couple of my petticoats hanging on the line, and he put a sign on them. We'll sell to the highest bidder. Complete set of sails for 5-masted schooner.
And I could have sold them, too, if they weren't an off-size.
Is that so?
Yes, that is so.
Oh, please, now, don't argue. I have a problem.
Oh, I'm sorry, Irma, darling. What's wrong?
Well, it's Al. Jane thinks if I take him to a psychiatrist, might help him keep a job.
Well, I think it's very sensible. Irma, darling, them psychiatrists are doing wonderful work. I know, they helped me.
Oh, did you go in for treatment?
Yes. Years ago, I had a bad shock. And there was a period when I thought I was a chicken.
A chicken?
Yes. I'd run around the house flapping my arms and clucking.
Well, how did he cure you?
Well, at that time, the price of eggs dropped so low, he convinced me that it wouldn't pay me to stay in the business.
Miss O'Reilly, when you go to a psychiatrist's office, just what do they do?
Well, you lay back on a couch and the doctor asks questions about your life. Takes you way back to your early childhood.
How much food do you take with you?
Food?
Mrs. O'Reilly, if anybody goes back to your childhood, it would be impossible to make that long trip without something to eat on the way.
Oh, mind your own business. Irma, darling, I hope the psychiatrist can do Al some good. But you got to be careful how you handle the situation.
I do?
Yes. I had trouble with my late husband, Clancy, when I tried to get him to see a psychiatrist.
Why, did he need treatment?
Well, it started when I was his nurse. He'd just had an operation on his eyes, and in the hospital we fell madly in love and got married.
Oh, how romantic. He fell in love without ever seeing you.
Yes. But when we came home and removed the bandages from his eyes, he began to crack. Every time I walked into the room, he tried to put the bandages back on.
Yeah, and from this comes the expression, a sight for sore eyes. From the book, What Makes Clancy Run.
Oh, quiet, you. This is not helping Irma's problem.
Gosh, I don't know how to tell Al he needs a psychiatrist because, gosh, he's so proud of his mind.
Well, I don't blame him. I always thought it was valuable.
You did?
Sure, I firmly believe that someday there'll be a price on his head.
Oh, thank you, Jane. You've given me confidence. I'm going right out and talk to him. Oh, here's the place. The Waldorf. I hope he's in.
Yes, lady, can I help you?
Is this the Waldorf pool room?
Yeah. Hey, you're Al's girl, ain't you?
Yeah. Is he here?
Third aisle right, fifth table.
Thank you, sir.
Hiya, chicken.
Hello, Al, honey.
Be with you in a minute. One more shot and I'll have the table clean.
Oh, Al, can't you make your shot and clean the table later? I want to talk to you.
Meet it. Now, what's on your mind, chicken?
No, Al, nothing's on my mind. I'm thinking about your mind.
Well, what do you mean?
I want to take you to a psychiatrist with me.
Me to a psychiatrist? What for? I ain't got no frustrations. I'm a happy guy.
Well, how can you be happy when I'm so miserable?
Chicken, why should you be miserable? You got me, ain't you?
Well, I don't like the way you behave.
You don't?
Maybe you got one of those diseases in your head, like paragoric, or new roses, or you might even be a Wiener Schnitzel.
Chicken, a Wiener Schnitzel is something with an egg on it.
Well, maybe you're just in the early stages.
Yeah.
You ever go around saying, cluck, 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 cluck?
Chicken, who have you been talking to?
Well, maybe it's something you don't know about, something that will happen in your early childhood.
Well, of course, when I was a baby, I did fall out of my high chair.
Then that's it. You couldn't go to work that day. You've been afraid to take a job ever since.
Oh, that's a lot of malarkey.
But, Al, you like to sleep all day. I think that's abnormal.
Oh, you do? Do you know how long a grizzly bear sleeps in the winter? 4 months. And when you go to the zoo, do you ever see a sign on his cage saying, sorry, bear out to see a psychiatrist? No, chicken, forget that stuff.
Then you can forget about me.
What?
If you don't think enough of me to see a psychiatrist, you and I are through.
Oh, well, chicken, since you put it that way, okay, I'll go.
Oh, Al, you're wonderful. Here's your drink.
Now, hold it. When a man is condemned, he should at least have the privilege of naming his own executioner. I'll get my own psychiatrist.
Oh, I know you won't be sorry, Al. And when they ask you to make your mind a blank, don't be frightened. Just think of me.
Yeah.
Getting his own psychiatrist, I'd be worried. April 2nd, 1951, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of My Friend Irma. April 2nd, 1951.
Go to Dr. Melvin, the psychiatrist I recommended. He's picked one of his own. And if he's anything like any of the other medical men Al knows, I don't want to be there. You know, he took Irma to one of his doctor friends one time. You know what the examination consisted of? He lifted her foot and said there was nothing wrong with her. All she needed was a new set of horseshoes. Well, this is one cookie who will never trust that Al too far.
Come in.
Hello, Al. You sent for me.
Yeah, Mushy, I need your help. Have to see a psychiatrist.
Well, Al, that's nothing to monkey about. If you need eyeglasses, get them.
No, Mushy, psychiatrists don't make glasses. They work on your head.
Oh, I guess I was thinking of a chiropodist.
Yeah.
What's wrong with your head, Al? Did you walk under a blackjack?
Nothing's wrong with my head. I'm just doing this to please Chicken.
Yeah.
But got to do it my way.
Who you calling, Al?
Who else but... Hello, Joe. Got a problem. You know a good, competent psychiatrist? Honest, trustworthy, and reliable, who will do anything for a buck? You do? Dr. R.B. Pringile, Ph.D., LL.D., and S.S. What's the S.S. for, Joe? Oh, right now he's in Sing Sing. No, need somebody right away. You see, got to find somebody who will tell Chicken that if I take a job, I may drop dead immediately. What? You think you got the right man for me? Well, who is it? Mm-hmm. Your wife's brother, Leonard, but he's an upholsterer. Oh, he has an extra couch and owns a frock coat. Good deal, Joe. Well, look, tell him to put up a sign, Dr. Leonard, psychiatrist. What? Spell it? S-I-K-I-T-R-A-S-T. So long, Joe, and thanks for everything. Oh, that Joe is one in a million. Always comes through.
Yeah, I remember the time when he saved my life.
Joe saved your life?
Yeah, by mistake I made a date with my girlfriend Violet and my girlfriend Libby at the same time in front of the same drugstore. You know, they both loved me, Al.
Well, did they know about each other?
No. Ain't I a dog?
Mushy, what happened?
Well, I was sure both girls would kill me when they spotted Joe. I give them the high sign. Quick as a flash, he robs the drugstore, slips the gun into my pocket, turns me out to the cops, and before I know it, I'm safe in jail. What's he doing for you, Al?
Nothing that drastic. Look, Mushy, you can help.
Well, sure, Al. What do I got to do?
You go see Leonard the upholsterer in the Baxter building on 4th Ave. Tell him I'm a friend of Joe's, and then when I get down there for a treatment with Chicken, he's got to tell me I'm allergic to work.
All right, Al. Gee, you're smart.
Thanks, Mushy.
Too bad you wasn't a school teacher. You could have done a lot for kids.
Hello, Milton J. Clyde, attorney at law.
Oh, hiya, Chicken. Alzy Wowzy.
Oh, hello, Al, honey. Did you get an appointment with a psychiatrist?
Everything's fixed, Chicken. It's Dr. Leonard in the upholstery... the Baxter building. Meet you there at 5 o'clock, huh?
Oh, Al, I know it's going to make a big difference in our lives.
Sure, Chicken. And you can depend on me. Whatever that doctor prescribes, I will do.
You will?
Yep. If he wants me to cut out smoking, we'll cut out smoking. Wants me to cut out drinking, we'll cut out drinking.
Attaboy, Al.
Wants me to cut out necking, we'll cut out necking.
Al, do you think we're doing the right thing?
Can't back out now, Chicken. And if he wants me to go to work, I'll go to work. And, of course, if he don't want me to go to work, I won't go to work, huh?
Oh, Al, you're so brave.
Miss Peterson. Miss Peterson.
Just a minute, Mr. Clyde. I've got to hang up now, Al. I'll see you at the doctor's. Goodbye.
Come here, Miss Peterson.
Yes, sir.
Look at this letter. I told you to order a Maytag washing machine for my wife. I said Maytag, not April tag.
Well, I thought it'd be cheaper if we got an older model.
I didn't ask you to think. I said Maytag, and that's what we want.
Well, then you'll have to wait 30 days. May won't be here for another month.
Another month of this, and I won't be here. You get that letter out immediately.
All right, but I'll have to wait until the carbon paper dries.
What?
Well, every time I touch it, my fingers get dirty, so I'm washing all the black stuff off the paper.
You idiots! That black stuff is carbon. That's what makes the copies. Now, how are you going to get duplicates of my letters?
Well, I have a camera. We could take pictures.
Oh, no. No.
Mr. Clyde, why are you shaking that way?
I just took a samba lesson from Arthur Murray. Listen, you idiot.
Now, calm down, Mr. Clyde. Can I get you a glass of water?
No, the last time you gave me a glass of water, you were using the water cooler for an aquarium, and I swallowed 3 goldfish. You better get those letters out. I'm leaving.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I may get a crew haircut, lie about my age, and get myself drafted. Goodbye.
Milton J. Clyde, attorney at law, Miss Peterson speaking.
Hi, sweetie. This is me, Jane.
Oh, hello, Jane.
Honey, I have a date to go dancing with Steve tonight at the Spring Festival. I don't have any white shoes. Could I borrow yours?
Oh, certainly, Jane, but you have to be awfully careful not to step on Steve's toes.
What?
I had ice skates attached to those shoes.
Oh, no. No, sweetie, not those shoes. Your white dancing pumps.
Oh, those, sure, Jane. They're in the clothes closet.
Thanks, honey. Did Al see the psychiatrist yet?
No, I'm meeting him there at 5 o'clock. Gosh, if Al does all right, maybe I should take a treatment, too.
No, Cookie. Psychiatrists are pretty busy these days. They don't have time to go to each other for treatments. Bye.
Goodbye.
Oy vey, April 2nd, 1951. Marie Wilson, My Friend Irma. John Brown, by the way, plays the role of Al. We'll have the conclusion next when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues. I've had to live around smokers all my life, and I don't smoke. And so it always bothered me, and it was something I got used to. But I don't have to get used to it anymore, because in my home, I now have an Eden Pure Thunderstorm air purifier. It uses Oxy technology. It destroys viruses, odors, mold, and more. And people all over the nation say these work. I didn't know it was going to work, but it does. The best part about these air purifiers is they have no filters to replace, and they don't take up counter space. You just plug the whole filter into the wall, and it works. Now, I'm going to tell you how you can save a bunch of money on an Eden Pure Thunderstorm 3-pack. Whole home protection, 3 units under $200. Go to EdenPureDeals.com. That's EdenPureDeals.com. Use my promo code CLASSIC3. You'll save $200, and shipping is free.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of My Friend Irma, April 2nd, 1951.
Gee, Leonard, how do you rate this nice office?
The dopey landlord don't even know I'm here. I took down the for rent sign and put up the psychiatrist sign I made.
Oh, that's real funny. Look, don't forget, when Al comes here, you gotta say he must never work or he will die.
Yeah, you told me all that. And I looked up all them words a real psychiatrists use. Frustrations, complex, subconscious. Hey, what time is it, Mushy?
4:30.
Well, watch your store, will you? I'm going out to put $2 on a nag.
Gosh, I wish I had $2. Oh, a full-length mirror. Oh, you beautiful doll. You great, big, beautiful doll.
Honey,
Yeah?
I seen your sign. Are you a psychiatrist?
Was you ever to a psychiatrist before?
No.
I'm the psychiatrist. We having a special sale today, $2.
Well, I don't know if you can help me. I have headaches, and my boss said I should see somebody.
Well, just what seems to be the trouble?
Well, they say I have a complex.
That's right, you got a beautiful complex. What kind of soap do you use? Never mind. Now, let's see. Who's supposed to lie on the couch, you or me? I think it's you. Would you like to lie on the couch?
All right.
Well, that'll be 15 cents extra. My bookie lives in New Jersey, and I got to make a toll call. Oh, I mean, it's just a federal tax. Now lie on this couch and relax. Try to sleep, will you?
All right.
Yeah, I'll help you. Rock-a-baby on the treetop. Go to sleep, my baby.
Hey, just a minute.
Huh?
Where are you going with my pocketbook?
I was just looking for your subconscious.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, I think you're a phony. I want my pocketbook.
Hey, Mushy, what's going on here?
I'm going to call a cop.
Hey, what are you people doing in here?
Oh, it's the landlord. I'm sorry, Mr. Davis.
Never mind the excuses. This place has been rented. Get out of here, all of you. Go on. I'm sorry, Mr. Stevens. I thought the door was locked.
Oh, that's all right. I understand.
Well, by the way, that sign you wanted saying employment agency will be ready tomorrow.
That's all right. I'll just sit at this desk and do some preliminary work. Don't you worry, Mr. Davis. I'll be a good tenant. I'm going to have the most successful employment agency on this street.
Well, chicken, this is the address. Now, remember, when we walk in, whatever the psychiatrist tells me to do, I will do.
That's the spirit, Al.
Neither you nor me will question the decision.
I promise, Al.
Okay, let's go. Well, good day, sir. I am Al, and I am ready. What do you suggest?
Well, there's nothing wrong with you that a good job won't fix.
What?
Report tomorrow morning at the shipyards.
Oh, Al, isn't that wonderful? Doctor, he's so happy he fainted.
Boomerang, and it almost knocked his head off. I don't know whether he's going to take the job, but the whole thing had a great effect upon Irma. She thinks psychiatrists are just wonderful. In fact, she went to one today. What happened, honey?
Oh, a bunch of psychiatrists came in the room and looked at me. I don't think they wash their hair very often.
What do you mean?
All the time they examined me, they just stood around there scratching their heads.
They just scratch their heads. Most of the time I bang mine against the wall. So would you, if you lived with my friend Irma.
My Friend Irma is a Cy Howard production. Mark Levy writes the script with Stanley Adams and Roland McLean, and is brought to you by Pepsodent Toothpaste with Ariel, another fine product of Lever Brothers Company. The part of Al was played by John Brown. Hans Conried was heard as Professor Kropotkin, and Gloria Gordon as Mrs. O'Reilly. Music was under the direction of Led Luskin. Marie Wilson is starred as Irma, and Kathy Lewis as Jane. Remember, your friend Irma says,
All my friends buy Pepsodent.
And I'm sure Jimmy buys Pepsodent. April 2nd, 1951, My Friend Irma on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, and an episode, and we start a series of yours truly, Johnny Dollar shows this time around that were very sparsely distributed, primarily because we're missing one piece of the show. But we'll hear the start of it at least. The Salt City Matter. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, April 2nd, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Hello, Johnny. Sam Rubin.
Oh.
What's the matter, kid?
I don't know. It's a feeling I get every time I hear your voice on the phone, Sam.
Now, what does that mean?
Well, the last time you called, I took a job and had to hock my watch for cable fare in Hong Kong. That's what it means.
So I bought you a new watch, didn't I?
What's on your mind?
Ed Julian.
Ed Julian? So long, Sam.
No, wait a minute. Johnny, this is important. I need help.
If you're fooling around with somebody like Ed Julian, you sure do need help. Go call a cop.
They can't help me. I'm calling you. Johnny, for old time's sake.
I'll see you after breakfast, Sam.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Samuel Rubin and Associates, Insurance Brokers, Majestic Building, Hartford, Connecticut. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Salt City matter. I didn't know it was going to be that, Salt City, I mean. But I did know the name Ed Julian. Every policeman in the country knew that name. My first impulse was to hang up the phone on Sam, but I didn't. Instead, I spent 85 cents, that's my first item, on cab fare to get me to Sam's office.
Welcome, Johnny. Long time no see. Come on in. Sit down. Have a smoke.
Sam Rubin looked about the same as I remembered him, and he acted about the same. He shook my hand, pushed a cigar at me, held up a $160 lighter, and smiled.
Oh, Johnny, I'd like to have you on my permanent payroll.
Well, now that'd be something. Are you making me an offer or just talking?
No, I suppose I'm just talking, but you're good to look at, you know. It gives me confidence. No, a little outfit like I got here, I can't afford high-priced talent like yourself for a steady diet. Why don't you sit down, kid?
You'll pardon me, Sam, but I don't feel sorry for you. You're right about every kind of insurance that's ever been issued.
Oh, well, yeah, sure, but nothing like those big operations that you're used to. This is all little bitty companies. So I make a living. A man having his own company, running it by himself.
10 of his own companies.
So it's 10 times as much trouble, no? Listen, what do you know about Ed Julian, Johnny?
He had quite a name in Chicago and Los Angeles, Hoboken. I thought he was in jail these days.
Who, Ed? No, got himself out of jail must have been 3-4 years ago. Sure, went into enterprises in Florida, California. Very legitimate fella.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Let's get to the point, Sam.
Well, you're working for me, aren't you?
I don't know whether I am or not. I haven't heard what it's all about.
About? It's about Ed Julian, that's what it's about. All right, I'll lay it right out for you. Here. Look at this. $50,000. $50,000 I gotta pay his widow if something happens to him.
You'll pardon me again, Sam, but when you collected that first premium on him, and I take it you sold him $50,000 worth of life insurance, you should have thought of this part of it. What, has something happened to him?
No, nothing's happened to him. I'm afraid something's gonna happen to him. I'd have to get this money up.
I'm just gonna listen to you talk because it doesn't seem to do much good asking you questions. So go ahead, Sam. Talk. Maybe something will come out.
All right, but Johnny, don't be shrewd with me, huh? Now, the policy was issued maybe a month ago. I personally, I wouldn't sell a man like Ed Julian life insurance, any kind of insurance. He's not a calculated risk. He's a lousy, long-sighted bet. Man like that, the enemies he makes, oof, he's a bad fellow all the way around. But here it is. It's on paper. I'm stuck if anything happens to him. Now, Johnny, the man's living in San Francisco now, and all I want is you go to him and ask him to cancel the policy, okay?
Sam, how did you ever get in the insurance business?
No, Johnny, please.
Why don't you go to San Francisco? Handle it yourself.
Johnny,
I'll tell you why. Because you know and I know there's no way for me or you or anybody else to approach Ed Julian and ask him to cancel out this policy. What it amounts to is that you want me to go there and keep an eye on him until you can break the policy. Isn't that it?
Not necessarily, Johnny.
What do you mean, not necessarily?
All right. So you're right. Listen, I heard through the grapevine there's a large collection of Ed's old friends visiting in and around San Francisco just a few days ago. It makes me very nervous. I have already a blood pressure condition.
Friends who might want to shoot him down?
Yeah, that's the kind of people, yes. $50,000 payoff would hit me very hard this week. All right, next week maybe not so hard, but this week, oh, boy, the market.
Are you playing with company funds
No,
again,
it's
Sam?
a calculated risk I'm entitled to take with company funds. They entrust me.
All right.
Now, will you please sit down and study this thing out with me? I'm always asking you to sit down. You never do.
I also never study anything with you. Sam, how much?
Well, expenses, $500 bonus.
Bye, Sam.
No, wait. Johnny, you're so impatient. I'll make it $1,000 bonus.
Take care of yourself.
No,
See ya.
listen, Johnny, look, Johnny, all you have to do is keep him alive till I break the policy responsibility. My lawyers can do that. They told me it'll take a couple of days.
I don't have to do anything, Sam. Now, how'd you get that policy?
It was in a bundle of stuff came in from the coast. Ed Julian took this out under his real name, Eduardo Saccavetti. Now, who knows it's Ed Julian?
Skip the gestures and tell me how you do know.
Well, my broker out in San Francisco. Her name is, I don't know, Straub Street or something like that. She sold it to him. Later on, she found out who he really was. She sent me a wire. So, $1,000's okay, huh?
No.
So how much?
$2,500 in
You're
expenses.
crucifying me.
That watch you gave me never kept time.
All right.
Never.
$2,500.
Expense account item 2, $168.73. Airfare and incidentals, Hartford to San Francisco. I arrived at 8 in the morning. On the way in from the airport, the fog began to roll in from the bay. From my hotel room at the Fairmont, I looked out in time to see the provision barge moving out toward Alcatraz before the fog closed in completely. Somebody said the storm warnings were up all along the coast, and somebody was right. By 11 o'clock, a light rain had begun to patter over the fog-bound Bay City. Item 3, $23, one trench coat. I was wearing it when I spent another buck. Item 4, cab fare. This time to get me from San Francisco's Fairmont Hotel to Ed Julian's address on another part of San Francisco's Nob Hill. There in the drizzling rain, I interviewed not Ed Julian, but one of San Francisco's older but more stable residents. The uniform said he was a member of the property police.
Hey, you! Just a minute there. Just a minute. Nobody lives there. And I hope for your sake, boy, you ain't no Jimmy artist, because I got me a gun under this raincoat.
I'm no Jimmy artist. I'm just trying to locate a man named Julian.
Ed Julian?
That's right.
Mr. Saccavetti lived here.
Well, according to my records, Mr. Saccavetti and Mr. Julian are the same man.
Well, he ain't here now. Moved out bag and baggage a week, 10 days ago. Whatever name he used.
Uh-huh. Don't suppose you have any idea where he went, do you?
Nope.
You happen to see him move?
Yep. Him and his wife and their clothes.
Left all their furniture, huh?
Didn't have any to leave. This place was furnished for them. They're the kind of people who never own more than they can carry. That's the way I figured them. Fast traveling and short acquaintances. Now, I once knew a feller up in King City. You see, King City's about 45 miles north of here.
That's how the Ed Julian matter stood on a rainy morning in San Francisco. Nothing out of the ordinary for Ed Julian. Yet, all around me, there seemed to be some sort of a dark, threatening undertone that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Whatever it was, it troubled me, standing out in the rain, talking to that old man. It still troubled me when I made my way back down the hill and found, to my surprise, that the San Francisco classified telephone directory listed Edward Julian Enterprises. Expense account item 5, 10 cents, one phone call.
Hello?
Hello. I'd like to talk to Mr. Julian, please.
He's not in. Secretary's out. Would you like to leave a message?
Well, this is Johnny Dollar calling. He doesn't know me,
I'll
but
leave the message for him.
When do you expect him back?
Never.
The rain was just starting up again as I stood in front of the floor-level office at Powell and Hooker. On the door it said Edward Julian Enterprises Incorporated. And below it said, walk in. I did.
Hello? Hello, who's that?
Hello.
Hello, who are you looking for?
Ed Julian.
He isn't around now. Maybe I can help you.
Well, maybe you can. I'd like to know something about his enterprises.
Why?
Oh, I might want to invest some money. Oh, what's funny about that?
You the guy that called me a little while ago?
Yeah, I called. I suppose you're the one I talked to.
What's your angle?
I want to find Julian.
So do I. So do a lot of people. What's that name?
Johnny Dollar.
Well, I'm Ray Gumby, Ed's attorney. Come on in here. It's warmer.
I followed Ray Gumby to the back office of the two-office suite. Watched him as he stood in front of the gas heater. Medium-sized man, 50 or so, wearing a tan sport coat, a wool scarf, a turtleneck sweater. Not exactly the conservative attire usually expected of members of the bar. But then he looked happy about it.
Sit down, Dollar. Have a drink.
Thanks, Mr. Gumpy.
Well, cheers. Now, you ask about Ed's Enterprises. Well, I tell you right now, they aren't much. He has an oil field, a piece of a gambling casino, a piece of a racetrack, and a part of a ship, and part of a smelter works. What does he do a couple of weeks ago? He up and unloads it all. Oh, I've had a little cold with all this weather we've been having. Why do you want to find him?
To protect him.
That's cute. Personally, I wish the bum would get pneumonia. He left me holding the sack here.
How's that?
I formed these corporations for him and acted as chairman on all the boards. Then he sold out from under me. Didn't even bother to say goodbye or pay me off.
You want to find him, too, then?
You betcha. I'm suing for proper fees.
Think it'll do any good, Mr. Gumpy?
No, don't think so. I mean, as far as me getting my money goes. But if I can get him subpoenaed, and he ignores the subpoena, the court will issue a warrant on contempt charges and throw his carcass in jail for a while. If he was behind the bars and I went to visit him, maybe I could handle him. The bars between us, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. You want another knock?
No, thanks. You go ahead. That sounds pretty good.
It is.
Getting him in jail?
Yeah, if I can get him served. Well, it's not going to be an easy job getting those papers into his hands. Two of my regular boys have already tried and failed. I'm a fool ever to accept such a man as a client. Never do such a thing again.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Mr. Grumpy, the man I'm working for said practically those same words to me in Hartford yesterday.
It doesn't make me feel any better. I wish it did. And I wish you luck protecting him.
Hey, Mr. Gumby, something just occurred to me.
Now, what's that?
Well, now, maybe we could work this out together.
How?
You want Julian to be served with a subpoena so you can have the police pick him up. I want him to be safe, and there's no safer spot than the city jail.
Hey.
Where's that subpoena?
Well, right here. And there's a fee in it if you can get it in his hands. $200, maybe?
All right. You say two of your men have already tried and failed to get to him. What happened to them?
Been to his place on Nob Hill?
I was there earlier today. He moved out.
I know. But my men went up there to serve him. Both of them fell down 2 flights of stairs. Seems like a myth?
Maybe Ed isn't living in such high places these days.
I hope not, for your sake, Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about tomorrow's intriguing episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow? That's when I begin to find a myth can be stranger than fiction. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
Well, this episode of Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar, along with all of this Salt City matter, 4 of the 5 episodes we'll hear here on Classic Radio Theater, came from Ted at RadioMemories.com. By the way, this episode from April 2nd, 1956. Visit Ted at RadioMemories.com. He provides old-time radio shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. Contact Ted at RadioMemories.com. Thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we get together. Drop them a card or a letter if you would, please. Also, if you miss a day on this station, you do not have to miss a single show. Our shows are available through iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or Amazon just by searching Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. They're also available through my webpage, which is classicradio.stream. There you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about building a classic radio collection of our own. You can get all of our social media links there, and you can contact me at classicradio.stream. Have yourself a great day, won't you please? Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That's me on your favorite station.